Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story about, I guess the first time I watched High School Musical. Sure, that's a good story. Um, and my sister was watching it probably 2008, and I walked up to her and was like, "What is this?" And she was like, "It's High School Musical, duh." And I'm like, "What's a High School Musical?" I mean, I didn't even really know what high school was at the time, so it's kind of all confusing to me. And she basically explained it's like the school after middle school, which is the one after elementary. And they do this musical, and there's a big cast of characters, and I ended up sitting and watching it, and I enjoyed it. And then I was like, "Who is that?" And I pointed at Gabriella / Vanessa Hudgens. She was like, "That's Vanessa Hudgens." And then I went over to my friend's house, and I went on Google, and I found out everything, and I was like, "Oh my God, she's so pretty." And then I got this poster on my wall. It came from one of my sister's magazines, and then I stole her. She had High School Musical pillows. She had one of Troy, and she had one of Gabriella, and I stole the Gabriella one, and I would sleep with it when I was like, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old. I think I lost it when I was like 10 when we moved. No, I was like 11 because we left after 6th grade. So anyway, that's basically what happened. I could explain in more detail the whole pillow story, but that's another story. So if you want to hear that, just tell me, and I'll just start rambling about that story too. So yeah, someone wanted me to do another one of these. You know who you are. Yes, you do. So now I guess I'm gonna talk about the whole Gabriella pillow incident. Because that's kind of the next thing on my mind right now is the pillow incident. So I think that's the next best thing to talk about. It started, I think, when my sister went to like Toys R Us or something, and she picked up, I think it came in a pack of 2. There was a Troy pillow and then there was a Gabriella pillow, and she didn't really like the Gabriella pillow, so she would just like throw it on the floor and be like, "Ew, I don't want that." And then it was sort of like a childish thing where I don't want it, throws it on the floor, someone else takes it, I want it back. It was one of those things. So basically she had the Troy pillow, I took the Gabriella pillow. She didn't know it for a while. I was good at hiding it if I had to. Like I would put it behind my regular pillow and be like, "Oh, I still have it. Yes, I still have it." I can't whisper because there's background noise. But anyway, I was good at hiding it. And one day she found out, and she was like, "Give it back." And I was like, "No." And I yelled at her, and she tried to grab it from me, and I pulled it, and she fell off her bed. And my mom came in and started screaming and was like, I think she told me I could keep it since my sister said she didn't want it. So she was just like, "You can keep it." And I was like, "Yay." And my sister was kind of pissed, but she got over it. And she always wondered why I loved the pillow so much, and it's kind of obvious why, I guess, in retrospect. It was Gabriella. She's hot. She was hot. She still is. I'm just gonna shut up about that, because that would be a whole nother audio track thing. But, yeah, that's pretty much the entire story. Unless I really went into detail and told you that it was on my bed like every night. And basically I was devastated when I lost it after a move. I forgot about it. It was sitting behind my bed. That's where I was keeping it to hide it. I don't know why I was still hiding it, but I was, and I forgot it was there, and I left, and I was hysterical because I lost it, but I couldn't tell anyone because it was weird. So yeah, that's kind of the whole story, pretty much. So welcome to whoever is watching this. This is the first video under the name RKisms, which is basically just going to be a new thing that I'm doing, or trying, where I tell a little story from my childhood, and it's, you know, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, I don't know, the most, maybe like 5 or 6 minutes at the most, unless I get carried away, but I guess that's a good thing. But anyway, I had already done 2 of these, but they weren't really under the name RKisms. They were done together, back to back. But this is the first one I'm doing. I'm only doing it a couple hours after the first 2. But anyway, today I'm going to tell the story of how I embarrassed myself in the 4th grade, in front of the entire 4th grade. How I just totally screwed up. Basically what had happened was we were in gym, and at the time, High School Musical was a thing that like people talked about. I think it was, yeah, 4th grade. Around that time, I think it was like a year after the 3rd one came out, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, people were talking about it, and all the guys in our class would talk about how hot Sharpay / Ashley Tisdale was in the movies. And it's just like everywhere I went, that's all I was hearing. And I had seen the movies. I don't know if I already said that, but I had seen them and I knew them. And basically it was just weird because like everyone was talking about them. And it's not like they were like as big as like, I don't even know, like SpongeBob or something. But I guess they were popular with everybody, or at least at my school they were, which looking back is kind of weird. But anyway, we were in the gym at the time, and I was so sick of everyone talking about Ashley Tisdale, Ashley Tisdale, Ashley Tisdale, and it wouldn't end. No one would stop talking about it. So I finally got sick and tired of it, and I went up to the gym teacher had their own like little area, and it was all the way across the gym. And we had a huge gym, so it wasn't like they were really paying attention to us at the time. Like for the time being, we were just sort of playing games and stuff, and no one would shut up about it. So I finally was just like, all right, you know what, whatever. And I ran up to the we had like a stage in there, like we did like, you know, well, not me, but kids would do like musicals and like sing, and like we would do our musical. I already said musicals. I'm sorry. They would do like their spring recorder things. I forget what they're called, but I think they're musicals. Whatever. Anyway, I walked up on the stage and the mic, 99.9% of the time, was set off. I didn't check that. I did not think the mic was on, so I was just goofing around. And I didn't think anyone would hear me, and I started yelling about how, I think I said how pretty and cute and adorable Gabriella from High School Musical was, and then I realized the mic was on, after like, I don't know, a minute of babbling about this, and everyone started bawling on the floor. Just, it was a big thing in our school, and I eventually moved, well, my family moved, after 6th grade, so kids were still mocking me in the 6th grade about this, and this happened in the 4th grade, so it took a while for it to just kind of die down. I never really did die down, probably until after I left, probably this summer that 7th grade started and they noticed, hey, he's not back. That's probably when it all just sort of faded. Probably no one remembers it at this point, but I just felt like sharing that weird story because it's always stuck with me. I guess always check your microphone is the moral, if you need a moral. I guess that's your moral. If you need a moral, is that always check your freaking microphone, because if not, you might end up screwing up like I did. And yeah, kids would bring in printed out pictures of Gabriella and put them, like, they knew where I sat now at lunch, so they would just like bring them all over and just like put them on the table. And I had a lunchbox. It was like a Scooby-Doo lunchbox or something, and they would put them on the lunchbox. They would bring them in with like tape and tape them on my lunchbox while I was in the bathroom or whatever. And I would come back and I'd be like, ah, these kids, I'm going to get angry. And it went on for such a long time, and eventually it wasn't like they were making, well, they were making fun of me, but it wasn't anything that like was really upsetting me. It was just more or less getting me angry, and it was just like, ha ha ha, good one, I guess. Not really. It's not really funny. But eventually it stopped, and looking back, it is kind of funny seeing how stupid I was as a 4th grader. But that's it. Just stupid 4th grader things that stupid 4th grader me did. So, that's about it.